Okay, we are back to the Mishlei Super Ultra Hyper Mega Meta Mishlei Review, Part 2, and trying to finish Chapter 18. Fine. Okay, let's get to it. We are on. We did 15, I think, that was the last one, right?
Yes.
So we're on 18-16. Matan Adam Yarchiv Lo Lifnei Gedolim Yanchenu.
The gift of a person broadens for him.
Yeah, broadens for him.
Or widens for him.
Yeah.
And before greats places him.
Yeah, place him before greats. Yeah. Yeah. So I think I did write this one down, but do you remember it?
Nope.
Oh, okay. You remember it?
Sort of, but just that like yeah, like giving someone something about how like giving people stuff, like people like getting things from
Yeah.
people. So if you like give them things, that'll give you more opportunities.
Yeah, and I think they'll create space for you to be generous.
Oh.
Yeah, I think that was the thing.
You know, they'll allow you to be more generous.
Yeah, but they'll also give you more freedom, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll read what I have. I would just skim through just to see how many more I wrote down. Turns out not that many more. Is this the last one actually? No, I have one more after this one, but so I call this one the perks of generosity, and the translation I says a giving person will be given ample room and will be established before leaders. The Matan Adam. Oh, that was the thing. Matan Adam, a gift person, right? The Matan Adam is a person who is generous, not by the metric of how much he gives, but because he is viewed as a giving person, whether with his money, his time, his support, or any other form of giving. His reputation, so not just like we're not measuring it in dollars. His reputation for generosity will precede him, causing people to praise him and look favorably upon him. This in turn will give him ample room by removing obstacles from his path, which would otherwise impede his success. And the unanimous affection and popularity he enjoys will also alleviate certain feelings of sadness and anxiety. And I have a footnote here. Alleviate is from Rabbeinu Yonah, translating Yarchiv Lo as providing him with relief from distress. So it'll give him actual space, but it'll also alleviate feelings of anxiety. His generosity will even be noticed by leaders who are eager to surround themselves with those who act in their best interests, without ulterior motives. This argument on behalf of cultivating the image of generosity is a typically Mishleic one. If you consistently act with generosity, people will get out of your way, love you, and help you to advance. Yeah. All right. Yeah.
I have total on how this
Order or thought? Okay.
How this kind of makes the previous.
Oh, I forgot we were doing that. Yeah. Go ahead.
That the pasuk is in a sense looking for gifts of da.
Okay.
That's all I have.
Okay. I might need a Tanakh. Yeah. Yeah.
Like I feel like something could be built.
See, I would have said it from the other guy, from the Navon. The Navon is generous with his das, and he is doing it for selfish purposes. But it's going to end up benefiting him because people are going to see that he's a source of chachma.
Yeah. Actually, so
yeah.
The Navon's being generous with his das, and so some are gonna be interested in what he has to say and things like because they want their gifts.
Yeah.
More of a broader tie-in
Yeah.
the previous section, but a lot of the previous ones were about like bad ways of relating to people and ways of relating to people that are even harmful to you.
Yeah.
Like Russia and Seal and all that, doing all that stuff.
Yeah.
So this is like just the flip side of that, like what actually do.
Right. That's good. Which one for the Russia?
It wasn't like.
Oh, you mean you're not like immediately before?
Yeah, not immediately before.
Chaim, is that the one with the Mishlei ripped out? Okay. Yeah. I don't know why we still have that. I mean, I guess it's still good for other stuff, but.
What else?
In the lossy level, everything's gonna be bottled except Mishlei. Yeah.
I mean, the only reason you use it for nas, like you could use it as like a soda film if you're looking for like police Torah. If you're using it to nas, it must be for Mishlei.
I'll wait for
Or like maybe small.
Then.
No one's learned Shmuel. We're in 1817. Okay. Sadi Karishon Brivo Uva Re'ehu V'chakarel.
Okay, so righteous is the person who or like righteous in judgment is the person who
Right.
who comes first in
Yeah.
conflict, and then his friend comes and interrogates him.
Yeah.
So the person might. This is like what a person. The Tadek Harishan for Repo is what a person's like trying to do is that they're trying to present their case first, either in front of the part of the top, so that they can frame it however they want.
Right.
But then the second person is going to come um, and take it apart.
Right.
And so really it's not it's they're setting themselves up for their story to be apart.
Right. So did we say then that like you should be second because of this,
Well,
or
I
is
think,
just pointing out like to like because there is a perk to being first because you also create the first impression.
Well,
Yeah.
we might have been saying either it's a like advice for the judge, like to look out.
Oh,
for
that's
the
right.
bias.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
right. That the judge should be aware that I guess it's both phenomena. I don't know if this is what we said, but like that first impressions are a thing,
Mhm.
and like they take root as like the reality.
Right.
So that's one bias that you would get from hearing the first person, and then the other bias is when you see someone being destroyed or critiqued or like taken apart, the fact that that person is like that aggression is the wrong word, but like the act of like attack, you know, to make that person the second person seem stronger.
Right.
So these are two
Yeah.
biases. Yeah.
It could also be for the second person, like or whatever. If you're bringing up some case in court,
Right.
you want to be the second one.
Right. Well, I guess the
Oh no, I mean I guess there's a bias both ways.
yeah, meaning I think given the fact that this is often out of your control, then I think being aware of the fact that other people are going to be biased in one of these two ways can help you to frame your thing in a way that will factor that in. Yeah.
And use the bias to your advantage.
Or counteract. Use the bias to your advantage or counteract it.
Oh.
Yeah.
I think one other like set of facts that we were talking about was a person coming with like the first person like presenting his case without the other guy present.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Right. Yeah. Rubinian, I think, said that.
yeah, the person like chose to present their case, but the other guy listening and being able to speak, and they think it's going and they have the benefit of people are not coming to the other guy is not present when they're doing that, but then like that's going to basically cast the first on you. You're the like the only reason you're doing this is because you don't want the other guy to be questioning.
Right. If you're really confident in your case, then you would let it stand up to the normal court proceedings.
Yeah.
So why are you like driving the judge in the hall? You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's good. And that's another thing also that I think we mentioned that's like a broader mistake people make where they're so anxious to get credibility that the way they try to get credibility undermines their credibility.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Anyone want to tie that into?
Into the one about the mishpat about something. Was there one about mishpat?
That was
Oh, that was a long time ago.
Yeah.
that was pretty much the
Yeah, that
I think that's something in the first parak too.
Oh,
I'm just kidding.
yeah.
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 Okay. I'm fine with that. 18. This one I do remember, I think, right? Midyanim yashbi sagora veinatumim yafrid. So the lottery causes quarrel to cease.
Yeah.
Did we say quarrel? Midyanim is quarrels, not quarrelers, right?
Yeah.
And it separates between the strong, or those who are strengthening themselves. I think that was another translation.
So one idea was just that you might think that like I guess you would have this thought of like, oh, the goral is not like a just way to decide.
Right.
So like you can't do that. You have to like present your case
Right.
and like act it out.
Right.
But sometimes if both parties are like just entrenching themselves in their positions, then like there's no you're never gonna like reach any conclusion.
Right.
So you have to just do some kind of arbitrary deciding thing.
Yeah.
and go on.
So I think I remember the big discussion. What's wrong with that chair?
Very.
Okay. I actually noticed that in past days and didn't say anything.
Yeah, I've been like trying to not move it so much.
Is it like fixable with WD-40 type squeaky or
Probably.
Yeah.
What is WD-40?
what is it? It's something that you spray in hinges to make them not creak. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. Oh, if you've never seen it, it is an amazing thing. Like
Really?
it's like magic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I've never like.
It is messy. Yeah.
You should dissolve the squeak.
It lubricates the hinges, so it doesn't dissolve them.
Got
it. Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
Only if you overdo it. We spent time talking about under what parameters would this work, right?
Yeah.
So we definitely said what you said, which is that it's when you're not going to get anywhere through actually like dealing with the tainas, you know. I think one of the topic we gave was is a preemptive strategy when you know that two people are going to. I think that's how we interpret the second half is yafrid. It'll keep them separate, meaning if you have two people who are mitzatmim in their quarrel that they like are going to dig in their heels. Once you let them get into that situation, then it's hopeless. But if you can prevent that from happening and working out with the girl ahead of time, then that's fine. I think one example we gave is the system of shotgun, right? Is that if you have two siblings who actually get to the car at the same time, then they're just going to fight about it, and no one's ever going to, no one's ever going to like let back. And so, but if you have this arbitrary system ahead of time, just whoever calls shotgun gets it,
Right.
Somehow that works, you know? Yeah.
It's like right away, but with cars also.
Right. Yeah. But then I think the question was what other things, because the problem is how do you like it, since it is an arbitrary solution, how do you prevent the person who feels that they have a just case? Oh, if both people recognize that they have equal claims, then this can also work, right? Or that you can't get anywhere with it. Meaning, I might think that I'm right, but if let's say like no one saw it, so like no one saw like who grabbed the tallest first, you know. But like since I know that I got it first, but I know that I can't convince anyone, so that then Goral might be the best.
I think it was something. I think we said that it was.
Oh, I know why. Yeah.
So okay, something where a person doesn't feel like they have like a real right to it, where they would, like. I think people are not fine with the Goral when they feel like they're giving up their right to something. Because they feel certain that it's theirs, and they're not going to be okay with a chance of it being theirs.
Right. So then, how does the Goral?
But let's say, like, you know, who's going to get the last slice of chocolate cake? You know.
Oh right, yeah. Right.
Because they might be able to come up with things like, oh, you know, I got last, or you have more chocolate cake last time.
Right.
But like, those are like trying to come up with arguments as like an arbiter of it. Yeah. As opposed to, I think
maybe this is the missing piece of chocolate cake. That we also used it. We also said that we use it when, like, what people want, if they want justice, they want it to be right. But then there is a certain point in the quarrel, or there are certain types of quarrels where the fact that we are in a quarrel is just a problem that we need to get rid of, and a goral can be used to end the problem. That's the yash bis, I think, a goral. You know. Or yash bis midyanim yash bis, you know, like that if this can either go on forever, or we could just end it through some arbitrary means. Yeah, and there you're not going to get through arbitration, you know.
Right. And also you don't have to. It's not as much of a blow to your ego. It's a third party.
Exactly. Or a blind process. Yeah. Oh, sorry. There you're asking. Okay. All right. Next one.
Yeah.
I think this one was hard, right?
I remember what we said.
You could. Nifsha mikirias oz umidyanim kivriach armon. I want to say that this is connected to the last one because there's midyanim. Wronged brother is
Oh, before we get there,
Yeah.
Fest connects to Zion in that it's like dealing with conflicts.
Right.
And how to deal with
Resolution, yeah.
justice with them.
true. Ach nifsham yikirias o. So a wronged brother or an offended brother is, I think you had to insert the words, is stronger than or more
More than
is more than a fortress of
Okay,
strength,
yeah.
right? And quarrels is like a palace bolt.
Hmm.
I also remember one shot
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. You see yours first.
That the when you wrong your brother, because of the feeling of betrayal, basically like all like the love turns to like hate.
Mhm.
So it's so like so like his hatred of you will be stronger than a fortress of strength.
Mhm.
I don't remember.
Oh, so I don't know if this is the same idea you're remembering, but the palace bolt, I think there was a shot that you could easily unbolt it,
Mhm.
right? Meaning it's not like a wall, it's a palace bolt. So like when the bolt is down, you can't get in, but it's just very easy to undo. And that's the flip side of it, is that because of the strength of their love based on identification, that's going to intensify the hatred, but it's also going to intensify the reconciliation.
Yeah.
And that when you are quarreling with someone who, and I think we said that this is lavdavka brothers, but like it could be anyone to the extent that you have that identification with. The strong, I think this is true like for spouses, it's true for like parents and children, you know, and it could be true for like long-term friends, you know, is that the stronger the identification, then the stronger the hatred is going to be. And that could be an obstacle, because you could think that, well, no, we can't get over this. This is too big of a fight. But then when you realize it's like a palace bolt, and you realize that on the other side of that, the same thing that's the source of the strength of the hatred is also the source of the love, then that can allow you to like move through it and like have reconciliation.
Yeah. So I thought it was a different. I think there was another idea that we had.
Yeah.
It was that that it's actually like they're more entrenched.
Yes, I know. I think that might have been what you were going on with the no, go on. You say it. Yeah.
That Midian is like regular people fighting.
Uh-huh.
That's like a palace cult. Where like you just open it up really
Right.
quickly. Like there is a little quarrel between us.
Yeah.
Like you just open up the door.
Right.
But for brothers or whatever people that you're close to.
Yeah.
Like that could that is a lot actually harder to get out of.
Yeah, and I think that was because the Rabbeinu. I think you were quoting Rabbeinu Yonah, because Rabbeinu Yonah said that that the betrayal and your brother knows how to hurt you, you know, like knows how to really cause harm.
Yeah.
I think the problem with that one though was like, what's the practical idea? Was it to avoid getting into that
Maybe
position?
Also, maybe to be aware of it. I think the practical idea of that was that you think of like, oh, I'm gonna isolate my brother, but like he really loves me, so
Right.
it'll be like fun. But
Right.
I think because it'll be like so painful, it's going to be like a forfeit to do this like that's going to be like launching attacks on you.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. All right.
Involving conflicts.
Long haul, yeah.
Tired.
Yes. Okay. I was just thinking of Obi-Wan and Anakin. That was the line that kind of going on. Mi plifi ish tisba bitno. Sevuas svas yisba. Oh, this was a difficult mushal, right? This one and the next one, were those together?
Yes.
Mavet b'chaim biad lashon ve'ohavaha yochel pirya. Right. So from the fruits of a man's mouth, his belly will be satisfied. The produce of his lips will satisfy. Death and life are in the hand of the tongue, and those who love it will eat its fruit. This is the weird muscle of what you're like producing fruit and like eating it to satisfy yourself, and like your hands have tongues, your tongues have hands. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know either. Isaac? I remember having difficulty with this one.
I think we ended up going relatively generally to speech.
Oh yeah.
Into what speech
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to cheat. I'm just going to look on the actual podcast and see what sources I listed. And maybe that'll. I should have done that yesterday.
Also, you can look at the title.
Yes, that's true. Yeah. Okay. There's hope yet for even though the fact that I didn't write down the stuff. I also want to see what date this was. Wow, I forgot how many other pesukim we did in between. We did other stuff. Okay, so this is a great title. The mouth fruit diet. The mouth fruit diet, yeah. So Matsu's Devin in the Erie. Yeah. Yeah, so let's just jog our memory with Matsu's Devin. Mipri. Imre fi titba bitno, Raflam Hagmul Kehamithal Hatova Imra'a. So he's saying fruit means good and bad. Right? And then Tvua, as he says, Hamarim Habaim Misfasav Yisba Keval Davar Milashona. Okay, that's just repeating itself. It's easier. Biad Lashon is Bakoch Lashon Master HaMavas Bachaim, Imi Davar B'Divrei Torah, Yechev Im B'Lashon Hara Yamos. V'ohaveha, Ohev Laharbos Ba Amarim Yocha Pirya Im Tov Imra. Okay, yeah, it's starting to come back to me now. Which is the fact that you are going to constantly be talking.
Yeah.
And you're going to constantly be generating fruit, right? This relates to Raman Bakius.
Right.
And therefore what?
So either
and it could be lethal or life sustaining.
Right. So you might think you could just not produce any fruit and just be neutral.
I think so.
But
but you're always planting.
You're always doing stuff.
Wait, seeds are not part of this marshal. No, the right? Seeds are not part of this marshal. You're not introducing another botanical.
The seeds bear fruit.
No, tree bears fruit.
No.
There's no seeds.
Plowing your field.
There's no field.
You're always watering.
Mouth watering.
Yeah. There's always, meaning your mouth has your words have a lot more power.
Yeah.
Than you expect them to, and if you're not careful to direct your speech toward your end,
yeah,
it's gonna take you in that direction.
Yeah. I think the essence of this idea was the fact that you're not aware that you're the one who's generating the stuff that you're eating. You know.
Wait. Meaning your words.
Meaning your word. Meaning, I think there is this feeling that all you're doing is expressing, but really you're expressing and sustaining yourself on what you express. And so, yeah.
It's kind of like going against that feeling that we have that Dibor love,
yeah, right.
That like you feel like you're not actually doing anything.
Yeah,
but you're accomplishing things.
Right.
I don't think the speech itself is the fruit. The speech itself is causing the fruit.
Right. But he does say, right.
Meaning, you're the fruit is the thing that you're affecting.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Right. I'm just in doubt because of the tavua part. Tavua safasab.
Yeah, but that's what your lips are producing. It's not the meaning. It's not the. That's why I said it was like a seed.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's kind of like you're spitting seeds and you're eating what comes out. That's why I was seeds.
Okay.
But like, yeah.
And that's the way to do it. Take an already complex model and add your own elements. Get the idea out of those elements.
Yeah. But like, I'm just saying, when you're not eating the speech itself, you're eating the consequences of the speech.
Mm-hmm. You don't have to learn it that way. I mean, you can, but ish, the fruits of the man's mouth. Your mouth is producing the fruit. I think that's a straighter. That's a simpler read.
Right, but how do? I mean, the words themselves don't create mubbit. Like you're not being satisfied by just your words. Unless
I-
No, so I mean, I think there are two ideas here because I was saying that idea. I was saying that the stuff you talk about is reinforcing certain value systems
Uh-huh.
that you
Oh,
have.
that's what you're saying.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah. I think that the producing real world consequences is another one. I think that's in the 21.
I see.
But in 20, I think it was that your mouth, and that was in the Metudis. I think I was getting that from the Metudis, is if it's in
Oh.
Divrei Torah or if it's in Lashon Hara, right? Those are two things that shape your worldview. You know, how you talk about stuff. Are you framing stuff in terms of like objective reality and chachma, or are you framing stuff in terms of like social categories and stuff like that? So that's like you're being sustained off of that diet. And then Mavis V'chaim is the actual real world consequences.
Okay.
I think that's how we did it.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Or if it's not, then I
now,
think that
now I
that's-
understand.
My objection to what you're saying.
No, this is what I was saying.
Yeah.
And also, why you phrase the things in a way that seems a little.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And I was like dissatisfied with that because I was like, it didn't seem like a good way of expressing what I thought you were saying.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You didn't like my mouth fruit? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Fine. So there's the fruit of a person's mouth satisfies him because he's when he's speaking, he's really consuming the speech, and that he's like the speech is affecting him.
Mhm.
And then and that's why and yeah. So and then the second pasuk is that is that like actual life and death is in the hands of the tongue because you're going to eat the consequences of your speech.
Yeah. Side note, I think another system for next year, maybe, is which I think I'm mocked to do every Monday night, is every Monday night at the very last, at the end of shiur, I summarize all the ideas we did. And I think if I were reviewing the stuff from the Monday night shiur, I would just go back and listen to the last like 2 minutes of each shiur and then get, jog my memory. I think that'd be good to start doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So help remind me.
Yeah.
Not just for next year, I'm saying like for
Yeah.
new pesukim we do.
Okay.
Okay. Mata Isha Mata Tov V'Yapik Ratzon Me'Hashem. One who has found a wife, we said, right? Not just a woman, right? There's one. Has found good, and he will bring forth favor from Hashem. Yeah. I feel like it must have been a question here that it's not every Isha, right? It's not just.
Yeah, I think there are like two ways of going, which is that like saying that like objectively the phenomenon of having a wife like does something,
Right.
versus there's one possible way, another one is having a good wife is what the pasuk is talking about.
Right.
Also, there wasn't.
Sorry, you want to hear the title of this one?
Yeah.
Finding, and then I had the word a, brackets, n, intelligent, close brackets, wife, equals good plus favor. So I think that was incorporating that ambiguity into the thing, right? Is it either finding a wife or finding an intelligent wife? Yeah, it looks better when you see it. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm sorry.
It's interesting to hear a description of that.
Yeah.
I know.
I feel like we went back to Aegis for some reason.
Well, probably, right? Azer Connecto?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess like I think the idea maybe.
Yeah, we went back to Bereshis 2:18 and 2:24.
Oh,
Yeah.
That like this is like having a wife. I guess is like part of God's Ratzon or something like that. Like it's like,
Yes.
I don't know. So I forgot what.
Yeah.
Like
I have here. Do you remember any of the idea? I have here Meiri and Rabbeinu Yonah and the Chukah.
I just looked at stuff and think it's helpful, although I don't know.
Yeah, that was not one of the ones that we did, but yeah. You want to look at realistically jog memories with Meiri?
Yeah.
So he looks like he's the one who says it is Shuva Bala Seichel. That's where we got the intelligent thing from. What was the idea there?
The idea to choose a good wife.
Yeah, but what's the Yafik Ratzon Hashem part? Like, what's the finish? Like, obviously, you should choose.
Well, I think is that like I think like a bad wife will be like very destructive. Whereas like, like I think it's like a good wife will be like it's like a font of goodness.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know to bring up the rest of Hashem. So like yeah, whereas
I did have an idea. I
Yeah.
don't know if this is the idea we're saying,
Sure.
but I guess like if you take Raton Hashem like as being like you're in line with like the natural way of things, like then you're sort of like if you have a wife and you're both like toward a certain objective of like producing kids and like raising a good family
Mhm.
and stuff, then you're sort of like in a way you're sort of in line with the I don't know, I guess natural order of things, blah blah blah. And so like you're yeah, I don't know. Like things turn out well because you're whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly.
Yeah, I see where you're trying to go. I mean, that might be why we went to Bereshit. Yeah, I don't remember.
I mean I go with
Alright.
it says that
I'll look at it.
if Yahweh wrote to me Hashem, he must see him in faith. Must also in faith.
Yeah.
I think like a wife is like a support system for your values and like encouraging you when you falter.
Mhm.
And like it's a good wife is like I'd say a good wife will like help you when you're in like a time of weakness or things like that.
Yeah.
And so you're gonna get Russell from Hashem, and that you're because you're gonna be more in line with purpose and like what's it like Torah, or like not like let's say even like in the Mishlei way, like you'll be better able to let's say following as a Mishlei as opposed to giving into the impulses of
Yeah. Not yeah. So this is the first one that we've gotten to where it's not clicking in terms of the. I feel like we're missing a big thing. I'll have to see. Maybe I'll listen to the last part of it or something like that. Okay, next one. So this is where we got into the money pesukim, I think. Tachanuni midaber rash ve'asher yane azos. The poor person will speak in supplications, and the wealthy person will answer with brazenness. I do remember one idea from this one. Do you want to say it or? I think one idea we said here is that. Yeah. Go ahead.
That there's like a natural not I keep saying that like there's like normally the way that these things play out is like the usher is like very like whatever like haughty.
Yeah.
And like his way is like the way that like he wants things to go his way.
Yeah.
And the poor person like sort of has to like bend to that.
Yeah.
So one idea is like for the poor person to like recognize that when you're dealing with a rich person, sort of like know your role.
Yeah, you have to play the part.
Yeah.
Yeah, and not let that oh yeah, this is a good one. The title of this one: Speak softly and carry a Mishlei script. Did you come up with that or did I come up with that?
I don't remember.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, right. But that was the idea there is that you might feel like you might be disinclined to do that if you're in a poor position talking to a rich person, because it's like a degrading thing. But when you realize, no, these are just the roles that have to be played, and be no different if you're, like in any other like societal role, and then you don't take it personally, and then you engage with the person in the way that it would be most effective to engage in them. And then if you get this harsh response, it's not really personal. It's like based on your role. But I think we also said a second idea. That was one idea. You have an addition to that idea?
No, that's
Yeah, what was the second one? Yeah.
which is that when you're in this role, it will affect how you behave.
Yes, that was the other one. Yeah,
Yeah.
right. Is that your monetary circumstances can affect your meetup, and this is like a thing that, you know, obviously we all recognize the benefit of having money and the detriment of not having money, but you don't think about it in terms of how the impact on your meetups. That it'll make you more submissive and like downtrodden and stuff like that if you're poor, and then it's going to make you have bad meetups and less empathetic if you're rich. You know, yeah. Okay, next one. Eat re'im lihisro v'ish ohev davik me'ach. A
Man of friends to friendify.
yeah. Well, lihisro isn't that also is to be broken?
Oh, I think.
Yeah, I think that's one of the translations.
Yeah, maybe.
And there is a friend or an ohev who's closer than a brother. I think closer, not clingier. Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember this one offhand.
Yeah,
although I see the title as the yeah.
What's the title?
The title is a wealth of. Oh, I do remember it now. The title jogs the memory. A wealth of, and then in brackets, imaginary friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think you said that this person could have a lot of like acquaintances,
Yeah.
and they were the feeling of like wanting to like gather as many friends as they can.
Yeah.
But that but by nature those are not going to be like close friends.
Yeah.
Whereas there's a phenomenon of like a really close person who's closer than even a brother.
Mhm.
That's like a unique quality of friendship.
Yeah. Were we learning according to that Hisroya means to like pretend friendship, like the
I think we said it was like,
Kispael here is like in that sense to like
I think we said it was like the fake friends.
I
don't think that was the other thing we learned.
because I feel like this is one of the few pesukim that we did the Malvin on. I feel like it's back. So yeah. You remember anything else?
No.
Let me just check that out here and see if what we had. No, Malvin's not a refund. There's Mitzudas David, but he's in it. Yes, we did the Malvin and the Mitzudas David and the Reunion and the Gra. Wow, that's a lot. Gra's also not in that. Let me just look at the Malvin really quickly and see if I think the Malvin was the one that you were saying. Malvin. That was what you were saying, right? Someone who has many friends doesn't even have one. Love is singular. And the more you have, then the more you're negating. Who each lihit ro'ea, yes, yidmet who each re'im re'us v're'im. So it's apparent. It seems like he has a lot of friends, but he doesn't. He's pile al meduma. Meduma means imaginary. That's where I got the imaginary from. Yeah. Okay. Right. And then vish ohev imish ohev echad az hu david me'ach ze getter ha'ava shetis gadol shetigdal al kol ha'avos gam me'avas achim. Yeah. Are you want to do the next one?
Yeah.
4 minutes. Okay. 19:1 is Tov Rosh Holeth Betumo Me'ikesh Sapasav Behuksiel. Sounds very Mishlei. Better a poor person who walked in his wholesomeness than a
twister of his lip.
Yeah, a lip twister. Like a fleeing. Yeah. Behuksiel. What was that? Yeah. It goes so fast. Behuksiel, and he's a fool. That was a weird one. I don't have a memory of this one. Do you?
I was trying to remember where we said Holy Fatumo.
Oh, so this might be a clue then. The title of this one is Sometimes You're Better Off Being Poor.
Yeah.
So we must have been learning Batumo. Oh, it's Rush. That's why. Oh yeah. Okay, starting to come back.
I think that there's so when a person is poor,
Yeah.
there's a temptation to try to like, I guess, like skim their way out of it.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And it was saying it's better to be poor and like honest,
Mhm.
then twisting your lips to like try to like get advantage, because that's going to be detrimental. I don't remember the
Mhm.
okay.
Yeah, something like that, because I have in my synopsis here that not my summary, but the on the podcast that Rabbeinu Yonah learns it as a continuation of 18, 23, and 24, which is that's precedent for you guys going all the way back on earlier pesukim. What was 18, 20, 20, or 23, 24? That was the top. Oh, it's not all the way back. I didn't realize that 18 was never mind. Yeah, never mind. Yeah, yeah, but I do remember him saying that, right? Is that the there's like the I don't remember. Let's quickly glance at the Rabbeinu Yonah. Yonah. أخبرهم كي يجي النازل من الأني ومن الأوشر بلا الله خير إذا يخشى عمر تنظر من الأوشر شياختي بشتني بخميدة خلية فيها أني خليه الخبير رشاين وهذا. So you think you're going to be better off, even though there's bad midos you can get from both of them, you are going to be better off midos wise as a poor person. No, I'm too fast. Yeah, I don't remember this one. Yeah, yeah, I don't remember this one either. All right, so we gotta look at I gotta look at this one. I gotta look at the Masa Isha one. Yeah. Question. So let me just stop this recording here. Stop recording.